Good morning, everyone. Can you hear me?
Good morning.
Okay, just want to make sure. Okay. All right, Lisa, it's all you.
Wow, that brings me
Good
back to my
choice of music. Sad. Okay. Good morning, everybody. Happy Wednesday. How's everybody doing?
Good. Good morning.
Good. Awesome. All right. So today we've got a couple of things to touch base on. One is if you guys saw I don't know if you saw the email, it was sent like at 4 o'clock this morning from Gary Keller about Josh Team moving into, well, he's going to stay the president of the company, but Gary is going to be working more with KWX, which is basically a lot of the affiliate companies that Keller Williams is partnered with. He has like his son running the management stuff. Anyway, he's going to be moving to the executive chairman position for KWX, and Josh will take on the responsibilities of CEO for Keller Williams, which is great. It's something that he had planned for a while and was eventually going to do it, but because Josh has done such an incredible job, he just moved sooner, and they hired somebody to be the CEO for that KWX holding company. So he's going to partner with that guy. If you haven't seen it, read it. It's good information. I mean, anytime Gary sends an email to us, we want to, that is the leader of the company. And then he's moving into he will be the executive chairman of the board for Keller Williams, which he was previously. So did everybody get that? Did you guys even see that email? I don't know. I'm just bringing it to your attention because it came in I got it at 4:06 a.m. So I saw it this morning. How does that affect anybody? All of us in the company, it really doesn't, because he's still involved. Josh is still running things, which he has been as president. So the reason Gary wants to communicate things like this to the agents is there's such a magnifying glass on him and the company, because we're the largest company in the world and we have a lot of competitors out there. So what happens sometimes is when somebody makes an announcement, they blow it up, they start writing all these articles. A lot of times there's misinformation. So he likes to have all the leadership and all the agents be aware of what he's doing before, so that it doesn't, so everybody hears it from him. I wanted to share with you something that I read, which I want you to be aware of. And this is related to the conversation that we had last week about Zillow hiring agents to sell homes in their iBuyer program. So this was a post that an agent shared in a group, and you got to take those things with a grain of salt. I mean, what is true, what isn't, what exactly transpired. However, if it did happen this way, again, we want to be aware of this and have conversations with our clients in the event that they are being contacted by Zillow. So I'm going to read this to you. I have an update for agents that are paying for advertising on Zillow. I am paying as a premier agent. I selected myself as a prospective customer for my own profile and identified myself as my selected agent. So they were going on like they were a consumer on their own site or their own advertising as a premier agent, and then identified themselves as their agent. So were they working with an agent? Yes, it was them. And then Zillow called. So after they did that, Zillow called this agent. Zillow called me. This is what it says. Knowing that I have been active on their site under my own profile. They asked me some probing questions about my financing, which is fine, thinking that they were a buyer. Then they asked me if I was working with an agent. I said, yes, I am. Then they asked me if I was open to switching agents. Now, what about that is not okay in the world of real estate, how we operate?
Everything?
Okay,
Well,
so in particular, what is the issue with them when somebody says they're working with an agent, asking them if they'd be open to switching agents?
That's
code of
Unethical.
ethics.
Right, good, thank you guys. So that is a blatant violation of the code of ethics. So here's a question though, and I'm not sure what the answer is, which is, are they, meaning their brokerage, a member? Joanne's like, let's report him. Well, really honestly, Joanne, we don't even know if they're a member of NAR, right? Because who does the code of ethics apply to?
Well, aren't they
Realtors.
members being
Realtors.
now that they're have brick and mortar stores, they're members of the, or are they just a real estate company?
They may just be real. So I don't know the answer. That's the question. Obviously, if they were board members in that area, wherever, or any local area, then, and that board was a member and they had to be members of NAR, that would be an issue, right? The question is, and this is a good question, and I don't know the answer, is are they members
Well,
of?
And it also depends what their state law says, right?
It also depends what their state law says.
that
Yes.
you are prescribed to follow the code of ethics of your industry, which is our national code of
That's
ethics.
right.
Right.
Yep.
So I'm guessing that maybe their state law would prevent them from doing such. However, it's a pretty thin case unless you had a buyer's agreement, because now you have a contract.
Or even proof, and they could file a complaint. I think the moral is be aware that this occurred, and know that they may what's crazy is that this agent advertises and pays for advertising on their site as a premier agent, and yet they actually tried to sway who they thought was another consumer. And you could argue that I don't think she was posing as a consumer to get them in trouble. I think that she was looking at what is the process and what happens if somebody inquires and on my ad. And they were steering them potentially away from her. So that is, again.
The other thing to look at is, are they getting kickbacks for those, right? Are those people licensed that are making those phone calls? And two, are they getting referral fees from that, which is okay, but if they're not licensed, then it's not okay. It could really snowball on them.
Yeah, it's a good question. So again, we have to be aware. Again, we have to be careful, and we can't go out there and trash Zillow with people because, again, they're a brokerage, and we also have to abide by laws, and we have to be careful in terms of what we say about anybody who's another brokerage. Question?
Yeah, no, Lisa Jeannie here. Good morning, everybody.
Oh, good morning, Jeannie.
Yeah, I'm just Googled, is Zillow a member of NAR? And this particular article that I'm reading says that they plan on it.
Okay.
So I don't know what the update is now, but let's see the date of this article.
That's great.
Yeah. The article that I'm reading currently is on RIS, Robert Ingrid Sam Media. So
yeah.
Anyway, just
okay. Thank you for Googling that. Here's the other point is that to realize that people are only subject to the code of ethics if they're a member to NAR's code of ethics if they're a member of NAR. So in other states, in Hawaii, we happen to be a very board heavy state, and our boards are members of NAR. We're members of NAR. We're realtors. That is not true in every state. And we do have people in Hawaii that are real estate licensees that are actually not members of they're not members of the board and not members of NAR. So they are not necessarily subject to the same code of ethics as realtors would be, right? This is the whole difference that you learn in pre-licensing about what's the difference between a realtor and a real estate agent or professional or licensee. In other states, there are a lot more agents or real estate licensees that are not realtors. So, you know, I mean, just again, another thing to think about and be aware of in terms of who you're working with, and that this is happening, right? This may be happening, that they may try to steer them away, and they're not necessarily subject to the same code of ethics if their state law doesn't have an issue with it. So that's it. I just want you to be aware. And I know some people do advertise on Zillow, and, you know, I do my best to encourage you guys to go with resources and tools that we have to generate business that are going to protect the data, that's not going to, resell or try to find other agents to get in between you and your client. So just, yeah, another heads up. A couple of things that I wanted to bring up as well that you may not be aware of, and this might have been addressed. Latasha, you can let me know if you talked about this in your, hang on, I gotta let people in here, in your BYOCC.
Letting them in, so don't worry about that.
Thank
Lisa.
you.
I got
Okay,
that.
okay, thank you. Thank you. Okay, so did you guys yet talk about the shared smart plans? Are you guys talking about that yet? So that's something, can you share with everybody? Because this is super, super cool. And I want them to be aware of it, that it exists, and go look at what some of those are.
So just to make sure we're on the same page, what they've done recently is they've updated all of the smart plans. So now we have, I want to say it's probably upwards of 200 smart plans. And what they're doing as a best practice is that they're getting people involved in terms of what smart plans do you have that are working well for you and you have a proven track record. So what they're doing is they're allowing submissions for people to provide smart plans, and then they are also disseminating and sharing that with everyone. And so Robert and I have put a pause on BYOCC. And so we've tackled not only the smart plans, sharing them, how to edit them properly and check them before they go out. And then the other thing, according to Lisa's direction, we've also been highlighting the KW consumer app and making sure that you have it uploaded, it's correct information, and that you have the tools and the tricks that you need to be able to share it effectively across multiple mediums. So does that answer what you needed, or did I say, I guess it did.
Yeah, so yes, Latasha, thank you. So the reason that I wanted to mention shared smart plans, and so you understand what that means, is this was the plan all along with Command, to create an ecosystem whereby all the agents in the company that are part of that ecosystem, 180,000, can share best practices and things that are working really well in their business that they're getting results from. So now what's happening is that's the case with smart plans, meaning other agents with Keller Williams around the country or even the world can share their own smart plans. So they're creating them, they're getting results from them. I don't know if the ranking system is in place yet. I know the next step they were talking about was people can vote on them. So you could go in and look at all the smart plans any agent has shared and uploaded for everybody to look at, and then they'll be able to rank them. So you'll be able to see this one has got the highest ranking of all the smart plans in here. I should pay attention to that one, maybe use that one, where you don't have to invent your own wheel, and you can just use any of those smart plans that other agents have created, which is incredible and incredibly efficient. They will be doing the same thing with designs, and then they will start tracking numbers of results. So in terms of conversion, so what they're going to do is start getting information and gathering information as people are using these plans. And they're going to say, this is the plan they would recommend that you put this person on, because these people are most likely to buy if you put them on this smart plan versus that one. So that's the next level. So they continue to up this, which is pretty exciting. And that's the power of having that ecosystem. And another thing about the consumer app, Latasha mentioned, again, one of the reasons we're really pushing you guys to share that is what I just talked about with Zillow and what happened with that agent. Get them away from that. Get them away from using that as a resource to search for property. If they have your mobile app, that's all they really need. It does everything. I mean, with the exception of certain programs, like again, the iBuyer program or things like that with with Zillow, but as far as being able to search for property and tag it and create notifications, that all can be done through your mobile app. So keep them with you. Events. So I wanted to talk a little bit about what events that we have coming up between now and the end of the year to be aware of and to look out for. This Friday, starting this Friday, we have the Golden Nuggets Mastermind panel. And basically that is regarding mega camp. So that's going to be Friday at 2 o'clock. And we have some of our agents that will be speaking and sharing their top takeaways from mega camp and things that they learned and things that they're implementing in their business or going to be implementing in their business. So it's kind of a cheat sheet for mega camp. It allows you to go hear some of the best takeaways, and you can share your own as well. I mean, we can also have people participate and share their own, because not everybody is on the panel, but some people are attending that went to mega camp because we hadn't heard back from them in time to confirm that they would be on the panel. And so they'll be sharing top takeaways. So that one I would highly recommend that you attend, which is Friday at 2 o'clock. And then you can RSVP. I think that's through the calendar, but you should have gotten the email on that. It was out and it went out on Saturday's Week at a Glance. And then it also went out yesterday as a separate email, Golden Nuggets. And then we are also in the process. So those of you who did attend Mega Camp and watch the interviews with Josh Team, the president of Keller Williams, and Google, the guy from Google, and then the gal from Facebook, that, you know, basically they stress that Facebook and Google partner with Keller Williams. We're the only real estate company they're partnered with, which is pretty cool. And because that was such a great, there was such great content in there about like data and consumer behavior, I've talked to our region to see if we can get a guest speaker either from Google or from Facebook, or both, that actually work for the companies in the areas that would be relevant to us, and be a speaker at an event in November for us, which would be virtual. So, I mean, it's going to be via Zoom. You'll be able to attend it. So I will let you know as soon as we are able to get that in place. We'll let you guys know. Obviously, it's a great opportunity for us to, I mean, those would be incredible speakers for us to have. So I'll let you know about that. And then also we will be starting to do business planning clinics before the end of the year to work on your business plan for 2021, right? Thinking ahead, what is it that you want to accomplish in 2021? Because when do we actually start working our business for 2021? Kind of a trick question. When do we actually start working our business for 2021? Is it in January 2021? When?
October 1st.
So Nicole says October 1st. Barbara says now. Yeah, it's now. It's going into the fourth quarter of the year, because what you do in the fourth quarter is going to produce the results for you in the first quarter of 2021. So this is why we do business planning in the fourth quarter. Some people do it earlier in the third quarter. Certainly now is where you want to be looking at getting your business going, looking at that pipeline for Q1. So I know Dan Palomino is going to be doing a business planning clinic. So we'll be inviting you once that gets set, who's in Kona, and that'll be open to everybody. And then we may also do another business planning clinic that's with a KWRI faculty member, that depending on if Dan's doing the same business planning clinic, then we'll just do that one. If he's doing the 1 through 5, I don't know, is he on the call? Let me see if he's on the call. Okay, Dan, if you're on the call, talk. Anyway, we're gonna have business planning clinics. So those are some of the key things that we're gonna be doing between now and the end of the year. Look out for those. And those will probably be open to the real estate community, not just you guys, so you can invite people to them. We'll promote them so that other people can attend if they want to. But obviously it's primarily for you guys. Team meeting, we have our West Side team meeting tomorrow on Thursday, and then we'll have our central team meeting the last Monday of the month. And this is just a reminder of our schedule, some of the stuff we have coming up. And then in Kona, you guys are meeting weekly, I believe, on Tuesdays, and Hilo is meeting also weekly. So one of the things that I wanted for those who are doing Hilo and Kona is we now are the Social Equity Task Force has been very active. I met with them this week, and they have some great ideas and things that they've been working on. So they're going to talk about the initiatives and what KWRI is doing. And that's going to start, you'll see Liza Rivera, who is our ambassador or our social equity champion for Maui. She's our representative in the region. She'll be at the team meeting on tomorrow for West Side. So we'll be talking about that, which is great. And I also wanted to let you guys know, I may invite you, you may get invited to be part of, I mean, for lack of a better term, I don't know what to call it yet, but I'm calling it focus groups, a focus group. And it's gonna be about, there was a training that I attended, which was called KW My Way, which is a really cool idea that some of the Keller Williams offices are implementing, where they're looking at the 3 different types of agents and the 3 different types of real estate companies and how they're structured, where you have, some of you have heard about this before when you met with me originally, which is 3 different types of companies. You have a dependent model, which is like a traditional brokerage model. You have an independent model, which is like a flat fee kind of a company. And then you have an interdependent model, which is what Keller Williams is. And so what these offices are doing, because the industry has been changing and, you know, we're looking at the behaviors of the agents and what they need, what you guys need as a support for you in your business. And so that's where you're going to see things like, for example, we're adding services for you. We have transaction coordinators available. Hannah is now doing some marketing for you guys, which is like listing packages. So we want to be able to provide resources that you guys need. So what I want to do is have focus groups of different groups of agents so I can run some things by you and get your input. It's kind of like our own little labs in-house before we make any changes to what we're providing for you. Like, what are the best things to provide for you? What do you really need? How that would be structured. I want to get your feedback on that. First, it's a project that I would like to do over the rest of this year. So I will be kind of doing focus groups. If you want to volunteer to be in a focus group or something, that's great too. I would say email me and raise your hand and let me know. It'll probably be kind of the different categories of what we're looking to do based on how you're running your business. And I know most of you and how you're doing that, but I don't know everybody or what you're excited about or passionate about or what you would be looking for. That's different. So we'll be doing it with the ALC. The ALC will be involved. I'm going to run it by them this month, Agent Leadership Council, and then we'll be doing groups. So we'll probably do, you know, at least 1 or 2 focus groups between now and the end of the year meetings to talk about the different models and what we want to, if we want to make any changes, if we want to adopt anything, and if we're going to spend the money on providing certain services, we want to make sure we're providing the ones that you guys want. So is there anybody on this call that wants to be part of a focus group? That wants to raise their hand and give their input and feedback? Okay, don't all volunteer at once. I'm going to send out an email so you guys will have the opportunity to do that. Do you think that's a good idea? Are you guys excited about us looking at different things that we can add and do to support you? I mean, is that a trick question? I don't know. I'm hoping. Does that make sense? Do you guys have any questions about what I'm talking about? Like, is it over your head in terms of different models and what different brokerage models are and the things that they provide? Because you have companies that say don't have a cap, right? Like they don't let you earn 100%. They just keep collecting money from the agent when they close business, but that allows them to also provide certain things because they have the money to do it. They're taking your money and they're spending it on other things to provide to you, as opposed to you keeping the commission and you deciding where you want to spend it. Well, I get that that's been really great for a lot of you. you may not, some people may rather have that provided and be willing to pay for it or not, you know what I mean? So like, I'm just really figuring out what we want to do. Okay, Crystal's interested. That is awesome. Thank you for volunteering. You're awesome. Okay. All right. Well, let me know if you guys want to be involved in that.
There were some hand raised.
Oh, I didn't see the hands raised. Shoot, sorry. It's because I have the screen. I'm not looking at everybody. I have the speaker view. Let me go back. I didn't see hands raised. Okay, if you go again, I promise I will look now. Raise your hand if you want to be part of the focus group. Now I'm looking at everybody. Keone.
I think Lucy.
Bonnie. Keone, Bonnie, Lucy, and Crystal. Okay. Awesome. Love it. Thank you, guys. And okay, perfect. All right. Any questions, thoughts, comments about anything we discussed this morning? Anything else that you guys have?
Will there be drinks and food at the focus group?
Yeah, and actually we might be able to do, if it's a small enough group, in-person social distance, and then we could have people join us via Zoom if they want to do that. So that's a good idea. Yeah, sure. I'll bring, I don't know. We got granola bars at the office and just kidding.
Better ideas come from drinks, right?
Yeah, I know. We'll see. You're talking to the wrong person. So I'll have to
right. No, I'm telling you that.
What people who drink alcohol, do. People say, why are you so productive? Well, I don't drink alcohol. I mean, that kind of helps sometimes, but sometimes I'm like, why don't I drink alcohol? I'm just kidding. So
Exactly.
yeah, we'll do that. And then the other thing is we are still working on, lastly, holiday, kind of holiday party-ish ideas and what we're able to do and not do. We're going to talk about it a little bit today in our executive and leadership team meeting. So I'll let you know, we are looking at a couple different options where if we cannot do a big outdoor thing where we're controlling everybody in terms of social distancing, then we have a couple of other ideas that I will be sending out to you. So we're going to talk about those today. And we may even give you an option. Do you want to do A, B, or C? And so if we do send you a survey, please respond because we might do that as well. Okay, that's all I got, you guys. Anything else? Awesome. Great. Thank you so much. Have an amazing day and the rest of your week. Don't forget to get your CE. If your CE hasn't been done and you haven't renewed or you haven't paid your board dues, do all that. I'm talking on behalf of Michelle. That's my Michelle speech for the day. Okay. Bye, guys. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Bye, thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Aloha. Bye.